Hello there, vinyl community and YouTube, and hello there, Andy, in Andy's Vinyl Den. This is a response to your 200 subscribers contest. I'm supposed to congratulate you on your 200 subscribers or 300 subscribers, because I know that you have passed that line also. Congratulations to your very well-deserved many subscribers. You have a contest where you want us to show a perfect 10 albums, 10 albums that we feel is perfect. I know that Carsten Olsen has been also interested in see which 10 I would choose. I did a perfect album video for B-Sides Jenny a couple of years ago. So I had to look back to see so I don't take the same albums, and it's a lot of albums I could have picked, because many childhood albums that I feel is very perfect, but there's also many that I've shown so many times here on the channel. I could have picked Alphabet Forever Young, a perfect album, but I've shown that album multiple times. So I felt like I wanted to take some albums that hadn't been worn out totally. But I have picked out 10 albums in the mix of soul and new wave and so on. Problem is that nowadays when I have many stack of records, I buy a whole lot of records and I have to go through them. I don't have time to listen to albums over and over again as I used to when I was a child. That's a sorry fact. When you have a lot of albums and you're going to try to give everyone a fair chance, it's not easy. But here comes my 10. I'm not going to do this in any kind of a chart this time. I felt it would be wrong. There's so many albums that I feel is really good and is suitable here, so it would be wrong to do a top 10 chart of the most perfect 10 albums. So this is without any kind of order. But let's start with some funky soul. My first perfect album is from 1979, and it is Rufus and Chaka Khan, Master Jam, 79, and see here, nice, interesting label, Sail Outside Continent. This is definitely so funky. It's a fantastic funky album. A masterpiece in production by Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones and Rufus and Chaka Khan, what a combination. In my opinion, this album is maybe not when it comes to melody, because comparing this to what he did the same year with Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, that album has of course whole different kind of melodies that are more hit oriented, but when it comes to production, when it comes to sound and funk beat, this one is, in my opinion, just right there with Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. I think every song here is so funky and really, really awesome produced. Remember, I bought this at Sundsvall Record Fair a couple of years ago, and remember listening to this one and thinking and was surprised how awesome funky this was. Staying with the funk and on the same period, 1980, could have picked All in All by Earth, Wind and Fire, but I think I didn't want to have the easiest rode into the goals. I wanted to, it would be too easy, I felt like, taking all in all again. So I picked another Earth, Wind & Fire that I feel is amazing, perfect. And that is Faces. I know that Morris White also felt like this, said once that this was one of his favorites when it comes to Earth, Wind & Fire albums. This is also a amazing album, or else it wouldn't be here. It's an album with amazing horns, amazing funky beat, great ballads and singing by Phil Bailey. It has everything that it should have in a Earth, Wind & Fire album, and it is so amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think it produced any real huge hits like September or In the Stone or Fantasy or something like that, which is surprising because this many songs here they could have fitted. But I just love this album. This is definitely one of my absolute favorites among Earth, Wind & Fire albums, and then they have done so many great. The next album is might be a little bit different from the other ones. This is a little more special, relaxed album. I picked Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygen. Huge fan of Jean-Michel Jarre's music, at least the one from the 70s and the 80s and maybe some part of the 90s. But this one is definitely one of my absolute favorites because it's a classic, of course. I mean, it's made back in 1976, and the synthesizers are so amazing. But also because the songs float so well together, it's so relaxing, it's very dreamy. Lay back, just relaxing and dream yourself away with with this album. I've done that many times, and so many classic here. Oxygen 4, of course, is the most classic ones, but definitely so fantastic, well made, and the songs float so well in together. Each other, and so just awesome, relaxing, and every song is some important part of this entire album to get the whole picture of the album. Next album I bought in Stockholm, and before I bought this album, and I wasn't all that into their music, but when I bought this album and this band's more famous album, From A to B, when I bought those two, it knocked me totally off of how amazing this was. Many considers New Music's From A to B the absolute best album by this band. I love From A to B. I think that is a great album. But I think that the second album, Anywhere, is, in my opinion, even stronger. I think that I heard this album the first time in a Swedish radio show called Eldorado. They played a lot of songs from this album, and I really thought that this was so great. And then I decided I wanted the albums and found them in Stockholm. This is this is just amazing, relaxing synth pop from the early 80s. It's from 1981. I just love the song Luxury. It's a fantastic song. This World of Water, also fantastic, great. They All Run After the Carving Knife, also a great song. All the tracks here is just amazing, dreamy synth pop, new wave pearls to relax to, with great melody and amazing produced. The next one is an album that I consider one of the best albums ever, and it is an 80s classic. Talking about Scritti Politis Cupid and Psyche 85. Produced by Arif Mardin, a giant in 80s production. I just love his many of the productions that he's done. He's done production for Chaka Khan, he's done for Scritti Politti, done so many produced so many great albums from the 80s. This one is an album that I fell for immediately as I heard it. But back in 1985, when this album came, I heard many songs from this album, because there are so many singles here. So I heard Hypnotized, Absolute, what a great song that is. Perfect Way, The World Girl, I remember from my first, when I started to discover pop music, The World Girl, and Small Talk also. That is not a single, Small Talk, but it's a so fantastic album track. Would Be's. For me, this is one of the best 80s summer albums. Just laying in summer field, the sun and the little wind in the trees, and just pumping with this album. So amazing. Really fantastic summer feeling, this album, and I just love every track of it. It's amazing produced. Mentioned earlier of the radio show El Dorado that made me discover new music. They also that program also made me discover this band. I'm talking about Sniffin' the Tears, that I have almost completed. I think I had missing some 90s albums, some later albums, but the earlier albums I have complete. This is Games Up from 1980, and I love every album of this band. I think they're amazing, but I definitely think that this is maybe the absolute best album. I just love Paul Roberts' vocals. He is an amazing, great singer. Has a little raspy voice, but at the same time very smooth. I don't know how that managed to be, but to have both a smooth and raspy voice at the same time. But I just love his voice. And this is, call it some kind of a relaxing mix between new wave and rock music, and fantastic, produced with laid back guitars and productions, and I just love the song Poison Pen Nail. That one is so amazing, and Road You Drive, of course, and fantastic, great album. Another 80s classic that have been with me for most of my life. I had this album for so many years on cassette, and recently I found a vinyl version of it. So I heard it multiple times on cassette. But now when I have found the vinyl version, I can show that instead. I'm talking about a band that I've shown. I think I've shown too little of this band. Maybe one day when things have settled, when I don't have many contests and 10 for 1 and so to do, I might show my collection of Simple Minds albums, because I feel I have so many Simple Minds, both albums and vinyl singles, that I can show. For now, I think I'm showing my favorite Simple Minds album, which is this one, Once Upon a Time. I don't know how many who agrees with me. Many consider Spark in the Rain, and I love Spark in the Rain also. I think that is a fantastic album, one of the also greatest albums that I've ever made. But call it nostalgia, but I think that this album is, in my opinion, have stronger songs actually. So many great songs here. This is big, and it's big production. It is powerful, and it is Jim Kerr's voice, and he's energetic. I just love it's energetic pop music from the 80s, big and powerful, and I just love it. And all the things she said, forgotten single, very forgotten single, Alive and Kicking, Jungle Land, Sanctify Yourself. I just love that song, and I'm very happy that they didn't squeeze in Don't You Forget About Me. I think that one is a bit overplayed. It's an okay song, but it's not Simple My best song. And if I had been squeezing that in, I think it would be. I don't think it would have been here as among the most perfect albums. But I just love this album. It's a fantastic, really great album. I'm sticking with the 80s, and keeping with new wave music. This is a band that I discovered about around 15 years ago. Realized how fantastic they actually were, and I'm talking about talking. It's all I do, talk. And this is their most famous album, It's My Life. Trying to have complete talk collection. I have one left, their final one, that I am still missing. But I think they were at their best in this period, in early mid 80s, and this is also like new music, very much relaxing synth pop. 80s synth pop, and he has a special voice, Mark Hollis, the singer, very special voice, but I love it because it fits so well for this production. Really relaxing and smooth, whole lot of great singles. It's My Life, Such a Shame, Dumb Girl, Renee, great song, Calling the Night Boy. Just amazing album. All songs are so amazing. Pop pearls, so new wave pop pearls. Now coming to two albums that I've shown a whole lot of time, but I felt like I didn't want to leave out. So you've seen me showing this album many times, but I felt like I wanted to have. Feels like I've been stuck in the 80s also very much now. Time to go back to the 70s and Fleetwood Mac's Rumours. This is maybe an album that many have shown already in this contest, but I just love this album. It's a song with so many different kind of moods. So many different kind of feelings when you listen to it. They're been built together in this album so well. They fit so well in this album. Everyone, even if it is many different kind of styles, many different kind of moods in the songs, and so amazing, well done. There's relaxing songs like Gold Dust Woman and Dreams, and there are more rockier stuff like Go Your Own Way, but everyone fits so well together, and very personal, of course. When you look at how this album was made, so amazing, well-made album, and fantastic album. Maybe one of the best albums of the 70s. And we're missing one band, aren't we? Of course, I have to show a Depeche Mode. And I'm going to show now the album that I think I've shown most times in shortest time. I bought this album. I got this album late last year, and I think I've shown it so many times. But of course, one of my absolute favorite albums ever is Violator. Fantastic. I said it before. A fantastic synth pop classic with just atmospheric and fantastic, well-made songs. So of course, gotta have Violator. So that was my perfect 10. My perfect 10. And I hope that you are satisfied, Andy. And once again, congratulations to your subscribers, your well-deserved subscribers. I also go and try to do Ross Goddard's A to Z contest, so I think that one has to be next, because the deadline is also running out on that. So hopefully I will be back pretty soon. So until next time, I hope that you, Andy, and everybody else have a really great time and a really great week. So take care and so long.